I'm Margot from the Costume Shop, and I'm going to tell you a thing or two that just might help you get more comfortable in your costume for the Grave Gala. There's so many options on the direction that you can go in your costume that overwhelming is probably the right word. But really you can find inspiration almost anywhere. For example, you can start with just a hat. Some hats are obvious. You've got a Robin Hood or a Peter Pan hat. That's obvious right off. A Pope hat. But you can probably dress that up in an interesting way. But you might find, for example, this hat to be really inspiring. You could go in a number of different ways. Probably the most obvious, somebody would think I could be a vampire with that hat. Or maybe you're a lady hunter in the late 1800s in England. That makes me start to think about the Headless Horseman. You know, your imagination can sort of take over from there. And it's truly the stories that your imagination come up with that creates the fun in you as you create your costume and gives you a story for when you go to the party. Costumes are just clothing, it's just threads. Really, the story that you've created that explains your character is what makes it really fun at the costume party. Costume parties can be intimidating, so find your story. Get inspired by whatever. And I find generally the people who love costume parties are the people who really get into their character. So, a hat like this isn't necessarily a predefined costume. It's not a licensed Disney hat or anything like that. It's called the Ghost Top Hat. I look at it and I'd love to see somebody with their face painted sort of a ghostly blue-gray with ice crystals on their face, having been on the Titanic. That would be a great direction to go with that. Or there's any other kind of ghostly character you could do. Some people might look at this and think they've got Spartan or maybe a character from 300. I tend to look at this and think of Marvin the Martian. So there's a number of different ways you can go that might be completely unexpected, but says a little something about you. So you're excited. You can hardly wait to tell the story behind your costume, and people can see that and they want to have a conversation with you, which is pretty much the reason why we go to parties.
My name is Marianne and I'm from the Costume Shop. One of the things that I like to do is help people take a theme party and twist it. We've done lots of superhero parties, and something that's always fun is if you can come up with your own superhero. I remember one gentleman who came in, and instead of doing a traditional superhero, we did the Mad Messer and the Perfect Groomer, and he spent half the night running around messing up everybody's hair and the other half of the night running around fixing it. So he took his superhero theme and spun it to make it his own.